Hey everybody, Rousefamily5 here, and I thought I would do a 2020 behind the scenes. I'm getting a lot of views on the display, and thank you very much. Next door, we are in the Beacon Point community of Aurora, Colorado, Arapahoe County, and many of you are just asking, texting, how do we do this? So I thought I would do some behind the scenes. You know, you guys are enjoying the show, and I greatly appreciate you. So let's start with the heart of the process, and that is the computer. It's just basically a PC, and it has some software downloaded, and you spend countless hours sitting at the computer programming when the lights should come on and off. The first thing that you start with is your score, your musical score. I use a software called Audacity, and you can load as many songs as you want. You put them in the arrangement that you want, the length of the song that you want. I typically do 30 to 45 seconds per song, and sometimes I'll let it run to a minute. And then you download the Audacity, you put it in a file, and then you open up your programming software. In this case, I use a Lightorama Pro Series S5, and it will match up to the music will match up to an empty screen. It says, okay, let's start programming a musical scene. And then you just start adding what's called motion effects. Every item is a prop, or, I guess they're props. And then once you're done with that, and it takes many, many months to do that, I start that about, right after the 4th of July. I choose my score because there's hours of listening to different songs and what I want the score to do, or sound, how I want it to sound, and then I download it. And then for you to listen to it in your vehicle or your car, that is done through this transponder here. It's just a FM transponder. My station, of course, is 88.3, and then I just pipe it out to your car. So that's how I get music and lights to come on. And I have what's called controllers. These are controllers. So you can't plug in an incandescent light, which is those little mini lights up there on the spinner. You have to have a controller. So the computer that I was just showing you talks to these controllers. The one on the left controls a pixel, and the one on the right controls your home improvement store incandescent little mini light. This is a pixel. The pixel has three lights in it. It's a red, a green, a blue, and you can marry those colors together, and your choices are infinite. You can do a million color choices with that. What else? I have a pixel strip here, or a ribbon, and I don't like this. That needs to be redone, but you can't see it at night. No big deal. So that's a ribbon. It's a pixel. A 50-50 is what we call them. Same here. This gives you a 300 degree because of the bulb, the node that's on there, versus that's one dimensional. Has to be pointed at the audience or the viewer in order for them to get a good effect there. So I have it on the garage doors, I have it on the gutters, and I have the pixel on the master, the upper right, the center, and all the gutters along the top of the house. I do rent a cherry picker in order to get the lights up that high. Here's another spinner. This one's controlled by these two boxes here. Okay, you have a spinner box, this one on the left, and you have a pixel box. Okay, let me open your pixel box real quick. Let you see how elaborate that is. Isn't that pretty cool? Alright. These are just your standard Cat 5 cable. They come in from the computer, and it tells the light essentially when to go on or off. It's a little more elaborate than that, but that's the concept in a nutshell. And this is an incandescent. They look almost the same technology. They're just designed to run a different bulb. Okay, I added something new this year. I added a 10-watt flood, and these are designed just to illuminate the trees. I got rid of the incandescent flood that I used to use. These guys over here, they're very hot and they drain a lot of power. But the ones that I run now, they virtually drain or draw no power. Here are the boxes for the floodlights and the matrix. The matrix is new this year. It's 800 pixels. And this is where you see the tune to 88.3 and some of the other effects. So every one of these items that I've talked about so far are called props. The windows, the gutters, the drain spout, except for the soldiers, they can be a prop. Every one of these guys are called props. Props and channels. Okay, each one of these extension cords up here, it's a little messy, but at night you can't see it. The black ones back there, these are channels. And you just tell the data when to send power to the channel or the individual light. Here, and you've seen these at Home Depot or other places. These are just the spiral trees. I took off the LED lights that they had on these guys and I put my own pixel on there. These are called bullet pixels. Okay, and it just makes a spiral tree. I have 4 of them. Last year I used to put incandescents on these bushes, and this year I decided to go with the trees, and they work fabulously. Okay, on the top of the house there, more pixel ribbons or strips up top. They line the house, and I need to go out a little more further. That's probably another 6-10 feet, and that's just a 10-foot pole there. Alright, and the south windows, more pixels. Okay, and the leaping arches, everyone's favorite. They're just incandescent miniature lights you get from your home improvement store, and they're run from the boxes that are in the back of the house there. I don't know how well you can see that. And they create a great effect. You can also do these in a pixel. And they do sell a pixel strip that will go into a tubing, and you can do many more effects than what these guys can do. They can just leap or do individual channels. There are 400 incandescent lights on this arch. So there's 8, and 2 over there are 12 and 1600 lights. And channels for this guy, remember I said every cord is a channel, so I have 400, so 1 channel, 2 channel, 3 channel, and 4 channels. So I can just do a leaping arch, or I can turn on an individual channel. Here's my pixel tree number 2, and 1's on the other side of the yard. They do a lot of amazing programming. And I just made a platform for it, because you can normally, you stake them into the ground down here, and this time I built a platform for it. One thing I learned is that this platform collects snow, and once the snow melts, it turns into ice. So I drilled some holes in there to drain the water, and next year I'll put a vapor barrier on there. Not a vapor barrier, but some type of a plastic or something, so that it doesn't accumulate the ice and snow. And something that's pretty cool, I have every one of the channels. So let me talk about these first. There are 800 pixels on this tree, and how you tell it which way is the front or the back is you start from the back of these when you put them on, and you go clockwise or counterclockwise. Mine happens to be going counterclockwise, and that way I know that how to program it, how to put a sequence on the prop so that it displays appropriately. Notice here I have the front, so this is from your viewing advantage, and everything will be synced going the correct way. Of course, I have number 1 starting in the back. Looks like I didn't tape that one. You do want to tape them to waterproof. Spiral trees, again, pixel spinner number 4, gutters, and there is a flood up there. A lot of wires. I keep my wires nice and tight. I did tape off everything so that they would be waterproof. And then here is a box here. Remember the extension cords. These are channels. Alright, there's 16 of those. I'm only using the, am I using 8? I think I am using 8. That's got a lot of tension on it. I like to not have that be so tight. And there's a box to the left. So this one controls the spinner to the right and the leaping arches. This box also controls leaping arches and spinner. Okay, there's one here tucked in the corner, and it controls a lot of things. I don't know how well you can see it. There it is. That controls the garage window and the floods and all of the arches that you see up there. As I back out, those, I call those south windows 1 through 4. It controls the gutters and does a lot of things. Alright, so let's check on this side. We talked about the matrix. That's new this year. I line my property with a pixel strip or ribbon. Creates a great effect. I saw that first on YouTube on a channel called Johnson Family Light Show in San Antonio, Texas. And I was just fell in love with it. I loved the clean lines and what he was doing, and it was a great show. Okay, and I have them on both sides of the yard here, and they create a great effect, as you've already seen. I did something different this year. I wrapped the trees in a cool white LED. I like them. They're much brighter. They don't draw as much power. So I'm going to get 16 boxes of those in sets of 100, or count of 100, and I'm going to change out every one of those 4 channels. I'll wait until closer to the 20th or so of December when everything starts to go on sale, and I'll keep watching so I don't miss the sale, because it could be sooner. They'll start getting ready for, I think it might be Valentine at some point. I wanted to show you this pixel tree number 1, same as number 2, and it also has its own box. Here's the box, and it looks just like the ones that you saw before. There you go, the brains of the pixel tree. Alright, and you don't really need to cinch down a pixel tree because of all the tension between each one of these Boscoil cables that you plug in the lights. It gets pretty tight. As you know, here in Arapahoe County it gets very, very windy, and it holds up exceptionally well. The 15th of November we had that big windstorm come through, and I hadn't secured the gutter up there, and all that blew off, so I had to go get the $300 cherry picker and put it all back up. And that was my fault. It was a costly mistake, but I fixed it. Okay, so I don't know what more I could show you. That is the display. They're all called pixels or incandescent light. I have a system that's called Audacity that runs the music. I marry the music with the Lightorama Legacy Network, and I can start programming when lights come on or off. I put an effect on a prop. Remember, these are props. Those are props. Anything that's in the yard, we call those props. And I put a motion effect on them. Some pretty cool things I can do. I can say, okay, all windows, you are a group. And I can put the group together and then put an effect on a group. I do that quite often with the yards when I do spinners and all kind of cool effects. I just group the items or the props together and I put an effect on that prop. There are a lot of cool things you can do with this. I think you can do it too. You're always welcome to go on to my YouTube page at Rousefamily5 or Peter Rouse Christmas. And it's R-O-U-S-E, just like house. And ask some questions. I'll be sure to get back to you and help you get started as well. So again, this is the show, and I thank all of you who have come by to watch the show. I really appreciate it. If you can also, as you come in, make sure you dim your lights. The neighbors will greatly appreciate that, and I would also. So with that, I think that's it. Nothing much more to show, and I thank you. I'm getting a lot of views, a lot of traffic. You are greatly appreciated. I hope that you and your loved ones are staying safe during our pandemic. And my intent for my show was to uplift and encourage everybody that although we're going through some things, I've also have lost some loved ones, a particular loved one this year, and that you have not experienced that. So I want the show to be uplifting, encouraging, and give everybody hope, because we will get through this as we always have. All right, guys, we thank you. Thank you for coming out and supporting us this year. And as always, like and subscribe. Rousefamily5, we're out.